This video is for the men, you guys. Ultimately, the females will enjoy this as well, or could. But it's about sexual health as it relates to circulation and erectile dysfunction, some people like to call it. It's when you don't have a sustained erection for sexual intercourse, and why you're not having a sexual uh, erection in the proper manner, I should say, for lack of a better way of expressing it, is typically blood flow. Now, it could also be, and it has been known to be, through research, psychological. You could be nervous, you could have fear, and just be simply emotionally distraught for some reason or another. Maybe anxious because you don't know the person that well, guys, that is. You don't know the woman that well. Or you could have a lot on your mind. You could have things going on in your job and your family and so on and so forth. And this could interfere with your having an erection for that moment as well. But let's focus right now on circulation. Let me tell some things that you should not do if you want to remain healthy, and even healthy down there as it relates to blood circulation in your penis. You want to stay away from some things such as alcohol. Alcohol can affect your sexual performance. Junk food, processed foods, lack of sleep, not being an individual that exercises, and even some medications can affect your performance as well. So you do a little bit of deep diving, do a little bit of due diligence and research on your own as well. And don't allow someone like myself to give you all of the answers. And it's not my job to do that. Because if you're really serious about anything in life, as far as the videos that I give you on health and wellness, you would be doing yourself a disservice if you don't do some work on your own. So, as far as circulation is concerned, I should say, I just told you what you shouldn't do, just in general. Here's some things that you must include or put in your diet on a regular basis. Now, understand this is not a magic bullet. You're not going to take some of these things and say, well, I've done this for one day, I'm going to be Superman. It doesn't work that way. All you're trying to do is reach some form of normalcy as it relates to an erection. Guys, understand this. I can go a little bit deeper in another video, but I'm not going to do that right now. But here's some general information here. Here are some things that you must implement. You must put them in your diet. Cayenne pepper. It moves the blood. It does. Beet powder, or beets in general, without sugar, of course. I know a lot of the homemade recipes and menus, when our family back from down south would make beets, they would always put white sugar in it. Nah, I'm talking about regular beets. Okay? Blueberries, all of your berries, your raspberries, your strawberries, your berries are good for circulation. Nitric acid. Garlic. Garlic is good for thinning the blood naturally and keeping the blood moving. Turmeric, or turmeric for some. Ginger. Ginger root is another one. You need to consume a significant amount of fruits in general, to include citrus fruits. All right? Ashwagandha. I take it in the form of a powder in my smoothies. Now, there's the old fallback, watermelon. Watermelon is good for sexual performance. You guys, listen to me. I did a video many years ago on this same subject about watermelon. And I don't want to call it a concoction, but it is a remedy. You can take watermelon, cut it up in a saucepan about so big, all right? Chop it up, turn it on low heat, all right? Let it dissolve into a liquid, okay? Squeeze you some lemon in it, all right? Let's say maybe 2 or 3 pints. Let it come to a boil. Now make sure that when you're cutting your watermelon up, you want to cut some of the rind. That's the white inner walls of the watermelon. So please do not forget the inner white rind of the watermelon, guys. Scrape you some or cut you some of that rind along with the red watermelon flesh as well. Put it in the pot, cut it up a little bit, turn the heat down low until it becomes liquefied. Let it cool off, put it in a jar, mason jar if you will, a couple of mason jars, just depends on what your quantity is. Set it in the refrigerator for a couple of days. Drink that in the morning once, maybe in the middle of the day or in the evening. Do that for a few days. See, does that not improve your erections? Now, this is the real brother teacher talking to you right now. Follow this. Where the rubber meets the road, herein lies the rub. If you want to have maximum results, if you want to have adequate blood flow, gentlemen, guys, stop the things that I said earlier. The alcohol consumption, or minimize your alcohol consumption, because some of you won't even stop. Minimize it, minuscule. And stop eating junk food. Stop eating processed foods. Okay? Okay, and stop eating so much meat, especially red meat. And if you don't have to take medication, don't take any. Now, on the flip side of that, what you should be doing is not gorging, but implementing those fruits and vegetables that I was just talking about. Fruits primarily is what I was talking about. Eating wholesome organic fruits primarily. The garlic, the cayenne pepper, the watermelon, and the turmeric, the ginger, and so forth. Everything in the list that I just mentioned to you. Include that in your diet and make sure that it is a staple that you go to all of the time. This should be what you should be eating all of the time in the first place. Take the bad things out and include the good things in your diet. Now, you can't do them both. Not if you're going to have an effective result. Can't do them both. And this is also true with anything as it relates to your health. You can't do good and bad. Either you're going to leave the crap alone, leave the junk alone, and start all over again and say, this is going to be my life from now on. Not just for your erection issue, but for just general health, period. And ladies, you will enjoy your man more, or even more. Guys, that was my tip to you. Take care.